So, welcome to the latest Carpool Chattyaoke, and I'm really pleased to be joined today by Barry Webber. So Barry, would you like to tell us about your job?
Okay, I work for Community and Open Spaces, and my job title is Tree and Landscape Officer, and it says what it says on the can. Basically, I look after our tree stock and a few other things as well. But I take inquiries about trees. We've got a huge tree stock all over the district and the borough, and I initially have to differentiate between what's ours and what's other people's. We're not a unitary authority, so we're not in control of every open space tree, but we have trees on car parks in places like Highcliffe Castle on the coast, in woodlands like Wesley Wood and Wimble and this sort of thing. So I cover quite a wide area. So that's it in a nutshell, I think.
And any idea how many trees we do have?
Well, I've got over 25,000 on our database, but there's a lot more because we categorise them in sort of high risk, medium risk and low risk, and the low risk tend to we don't get a chance to get to see those, and they're sort of the back of the beyond, so we focus on the high risk ones. But so that would be 25,000. The bulk of those would be probably medium risk, to be honest with you. Fortunately, we don't have highway trees, and that would be really high risk at play areas and things like that. High risk.
So what's the best thing about the job?
Well, I think when you can, well, this sounds awful. When you get a member of the public and you can actually resolve an issue, sometimes it's actually explaining that actually it's not an issue, and that is, and when you get a thank you from somebody from that, that's probably quite a nice pat on the back.
So this would be when somebody's got a concern about a tree, and you can reassure them.
Yes, and they want to do something, and you say, well, actually that's not probably the best way forward. So that's quite good. When we can achieve that, it's quite a positive end to it.
Now, no job is perfect.
Yeah.
So what's not so good about it?
Well, the opposite side is when people want you to do something that is not within our policy, not within our remit, and like everybody, we've got budget constraints as well. And I mean, there are things that you'd like to do to trees that are not a safety issue, but you're not going to make every tree a lollipop, so somebody can actually have a view of the Isle of Wight or something like that. So that's the other side. And I mean, this week I had somebody complain about the needles dropping from the pines and on the road, and it's kind of telling them that it's a tree, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
So that's one of the issues.
Yeah.
I deal with allotments too, and you get issues with plot holders where one saying one thing and another saying the opposite, and you're like the arbiter. So you're trying to sort of get harmony in the sites, and so that can be quite stressful. Take a lot of time actually.
So if you weren't doing this for a living, what would be your dream job?
Well, I also do the wildflowers around the district and the borough. So my dream job would be actually focusing on that and advising and perhaps implementing that kind of thing.
They've gone down really well, the wildflowers, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. And that's another real positive, I must say. It's you think people get really stressed in their traffic jams and stuff, and they look to the right and they see a lovely wildflower display, and I've had a bit of feedback, and it's quite nice when it might chill them a little bit. Certainly it does me.
And you're on the front cover of the East Dorset News in the Christchurch.
I know. I've had some stick for that, I can tell you. I've really had some stick from all quarters, not just at work. Yeah.
And so when you're not at work, what sort of things do you get up to?
Well, I go to a few festivals, and I love my rugby, and I love Six Nations, so I always make my way down to see a few of those games. I do camping, and I love this area, and so we've got a camping crew, and we go to a place called Chiddock, and I camp near Corfe Castle and places like that, and walk. I don't know whether you've been to Worth and Travis, the Square and the Compass, and you always have a pub at the end of it, so you earn your beer and stuff like this. So that's sort of some of the things I do, and
So you obviously know the Christchurch and East Dorset area very well because of your job.
Yeah.
So what would be your favourite place?
I love Wimborne. I think it's a great town. I just, it's a real, I'm so pleased I've discovered it. It's a quirky place. I love the little bars and I go down there quite often when I can't get to a rugby match, like an international. I go down to the cricketers down in Wimborne. It's a bit of spit and sawdust, but I don't mind spit and sawdust.
Good stuff. And so thanks for that, Barry. You just finished by asking you what your favourite song is. Well,
I've got a real eclectic choice of songs, I'm afraid, but I would say Human by Rag and Bone Man.
Good one. Thanks, Barry.